Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about the movie that's going to win Ethan Hawke an Oscar, Blue Moon. It's a biographical comedy drama that is almost entirely built on dialogue, performance, and one deeply fascinating, deeply flawed man. This is not a movie driven by plot twists, action, or spectacle. This is a movie that lives and dies by its characters, especially one character, and the words that spill out of him over one long emotional night. Quick heads up, this review may contain the occasional minor spoiler as I talk about each character and how they drive the emotions in this movie. Blue Moon is about real-life lyricists Lorenz Hart, played by Ethan Hawke in one of the most committed performances I've seen this year. It's a film about artistic legacy, aging, bitterness, addiction, unrequited love, wrapped in humor, vulgarity, nostalgia, and tragedy. Nearly the entire movie takes place in a bar, and yes, we really do stay inside that bar the entire time outside of the intro. At first, this feels limiting, but as the film progresses, it becomes clear that the bar isn't just a location. It's like a stage or a confessional. Larry thrives here. He tells stories, dominates conversations, charms strangers, insults masterpieces, and drinks just enough to feel alive without crossing the line, at least at first. The camera rarely needs to move much. The tension comes from words, glances, interruptions, and silences. This is a movie that trusts its audience to sit and listen. If you're not into dialogue-heavy films, this will absolutely not be your thing. I'm normally not a fan of dialogue-heavy movies, and the one person who makes this movie good is Ethan Hawke. He kills this role as Larry Hart. He's vulgar, insecure, brilliant, bitter, arrogant, self-aware, self-destructive, and deeply lonely. Larry tells stories the way that some people breathe. He mythologizes his life in real time, exaggerating, reframing, and intellectualizing his pain so that it sounds intentional, even poetic. Hawke's delivery is fast, theatrical, and often exhausting, but that's the point. I have some autistic coworkers whom I have to be very careful of what I bring up, because if I mention video games, we're going to spend the next 3 hours talking about every video game known to mankind. I know some people who, if I talk about movies, they're going to tell me about every movie in their collection of 3,000 Blu-rays. Ethan Hawke perfectly captures that autistic quality of info dumping about his special interests. He's a constant hose of words, slurs, jokes, and obsession. Larry isn't the most lovable guy, but you can't help but feel sad for him for two main reasons. Firstly, composer Richard Rogers. He's played by Andrew Scott with a calm restraint that serves as Larry's emotional counterweight. Where Larry is chaotic, Rogers is disciplined. When Larry wants satire and risk, Rogers wants structure and emotional clarity. The tension between them is heartbreaking because it's so human. These men were once partners, but Rogers has now moved on. The one and only show he's made with another lyricist, Oscar Hammerstein, is wildly successful. He's respected, and worst of all, he's happy. Larry lashes out and self-destructs because he's reacting to being left behind. Their conversations feel like the final gasps of a partnership that once defined them both. Secondly, you feel bad for Larry because of Elizabeth, played by Margaretqualley. For me, she's an uncomfortable but fascinating part of this film. She's young, very young compared to Larry, but she's emotionally mature and completely uninterested in Larry romantically despite his insistence that they share something special. Elizabeth talks openly about being in love with another man despite being treated poorly. Her confession mirrors Larry's own emotional state, loving someone who does not love you back and knowing it doesn't make sense. One of my favorite aspects of Blue Moon is how it casually weaves in historical figures like ebwhite, Oscar Hammerstein, and others. Even if some characters provide some humor, these characters aren't used as gimmicks. They feel like real people passing through Larry's orbit, listening, learning, benefiting from him, and eventually moving on. It's fun seeing how Larry unknowingly inspires E.B.'s children's book ideas. All these little themes reinforce the film's central irony. Larry mattered immensely even when others didn't see that. Again, for a movie that's so limited in setting, the cast carries this movie with the help of the writing and dialogue. Elizabeth delivers some heart-shattering lines towards the end of the film. It's the kind of stuff that would make a weaker man an incel. Larry is sharp, funny, and often brutally honest. Again, autistic people are usually very blunt. That bluntness falls perfectly in line with Larry. It reminds us that he is a man of the time and also deeply irresponsible with language, emotion, and people. Blue Moon is categorized as a musical, but that is very deeply misleading. This is not a musical in any traditional sense. Yes, there's music, but no one is breaking out in dance and song. Instead, the music functions as emotional punctuation. There's a pianist nicknamed Knuckles who underscores Larry's stories with perfect timing. The music feels intimate, melancholic, and deeply tied to memory. Adding even further to the irony in the film, Blue Moon is Larry's least favorite song. His most enduring work is the one that he resents the most. And that's ultimately Larry's life in a nutshell. He wants to make art he loves, not art that feels safe and leaves a legacy. The film closes by reminding us of the legacy that Rogers and Hammerstein would go on to have, quietly acknowledging Larry's contributions even as he fades from public memory. It's tragic, it's unfair, and it's painfully real. Ultimately, I liked Blue Moon. It's dialogue heavy and not an easy watch, and it's not something I'd casually throw on in the background, but as a character study, it absolutely works. This is a movie that lives and dies by its performances and dialogue, and Ethan Hawke delivers one of the most raw, exhausting, and compelling portrayals of a deeply flawed artist. I don't always agree with the choices Larry makes, but I understood him, and that's what matters. Blue Moon is funny, bitter, tragic, and strangely intimate, and while it may not resonate with everyone, it succeeds at exactly what it sets out to do. Larry's story provides an interesting perspective on whether artistic worth is measured by longevity, popularity, or emotional honesty. So, if you enjoy dialogue-heavy, performance-driven films that trust you to sit, listen, I definitely recommend checking this one out. Thank you for listening to my review of Blue Moon. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Goodfriends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.